Hello everyone. I'm going to introduce you SYSTRONICS Intercompany Utilities 2019E. This application is used for companies with different branches that use SAGE 300. There are a couple of business benefits that the application offers. Some of them are time saving, synchronization of master data across multiple SAGE 300 companies, reduced manual entry and human errors, and more. The application consists of different sub-modules which are designed in a way to accomplish different transaction needs for your companies, interrelated companies. And let's go through each of them and understand how they work. First one is POE trade automation, which automates cross-company purchases and sales transactions. That is to say, when you create purchase order in a buying company, the respective sales order is automatically generated in selling company. Whenever you create a shipment from selling company, the receipt is automatically created in buying company. And whenever you create an invoice in either of these companies, the respective invoice in other company is created. So let's go and see how this works. I'm using sample databases which you can download from our website to demonstrate you POE trade automation. RG Inc. will be my purchasing company and RG Ltd. will be my selling company. Let's create a purchase order. So we need to create a purchase order for a dedicated vendor, which we define in RG options. You can see intercompany vendor. This vendor is used for intercompany transactions. You just enter an item, location, and the quantity. Then you just click post. And you can see that pop-up appears telling us that OE order in RG Ltd, which is our selling company, was created. So let's go to our RG Ltd and see the order. Okay, so order entry. So this is our order entry, which was automatically generated, and you can see the quantity too, and all other details are copied from the purchase order which we have created in RG Inc. Also, you can see that here we have 4,000, customer 4,000, which is intercompany customer. This customer is also defined in RG options. After, when we create shipment, for that order entry, let's do that. Okay, shipment quantity 2, and let's post it. Okay, you can see that user admin does not have enough security rights to process PO received in company RG Inc. This is another functionality of POE. So let's say you don't want someone who creates a transaction in a selling company to generate automatically respective transaction in the buying company. In that case, you just don't give enough security rights to do that, and the transaction appears in the approval console of respective destination company. In this case, this will appear in RG Inc. So let's go to RG Inc. and see how it was created in approval console. So here we have our approval console. Let's run that. Okay, so you can see that PO receipt, which was not created, is on our console. You just can toggle no to yes and process if you have appropriate security rights. In our case, administrator has approval security rights. That's why I can process this transaction and create receipts in RG Inc. So you can see that PO receipt is created successfully. Let's go and see our receipt. Okay, so this is our receipt which was successfully created. And as I have told, you can create an invoice in either of companies, and the respective invoice will be created in another company. So let's create an invoice and name it test RG. Choose receipt number. So we have this receipt number here, and I'm just posting this invoice. So you can see again, in our GLTD, this user does not have enough security rights. We can go to Approval Console and create invoice in our GLTD. Or we could set up in a way that the invoice would be created automatically. Okay, and close. Let's go also to setups to see the security rights. Here you can see, here we define the appropriate security rights. You can see that admin has post rights only for OE invoices, but for other transactions it has only approved security rights. This is all for pure OE trade automation. And let's go to our next module. This is a group of, these are synchronization sub-modules, account, customer, item, and vendor synchronizations, which synchronize master data across multiple SAGE 300 companies. So let's say you have different branches and you cooperate with the same customer or vendor. In this case, you want to have these vendors and customers identified in your all branches. So instead of entering them manually, you just can use synchronization sub-module to do that automatically. Let's go to item synchronization sub-module. All synchronizations work in a similar logic, so I just will introduce you item synchronization to see how this works, and after you will know how the other account, vendor, and synchronization and customer synchronizations work. Let's open item synchronization screen. This screen is all the same as our regular IC item screen, only you can see synchronize button is added. When you click synchronize, item synchronization screen appears. We have here go button, let's click it. On the upper part of the screen, all the information for the selected item is shown. And in the grid, you can see the different companies, and you can choose to which company you want this item to be synchronized. Let's say click yes. You can see here status. Under status, you can see no match. There are other possible statuses are match and identical. Identical means that all fields are identical in a destination company. And match means that only item number is the same. In this case, when you click synchronize, all selected fields will be updated. And when no match, it means that the item is not created in destination company, and when you process, click synchronize, this new item will be created in destination company. In our case, in RG Ltd, because we are in RG Inc. So let's click synchronize. You can see synchronization completed successfully. Okay. And you can see the information already appears here because this item already exists in RG Ltd. And you can see there is no information in the upper line because this item does not exist in RG company. Also, I would like to mention that we can identify on setups which fields of an item, customer, or account, or vendor we want to be synchronized. So here on item synchronization screen, you define what fields to be synchronized. Let's say category and so on. You can select them or unselect, and whichever field you wish will be synchronized. And on companies tab, you decide which companies are engaged in this synchronization. Let's close this. And also, if you want to synchronize group of items or accounts, vendors, you have synchronization wizard. You just go there. Here you can see selection criteria. You can select items by any up to 4 criteria and select go button. After respective items will appear here, then you can select them or unselect. Here we have select all and unselect all buttons. After selecting, you just select companies, to which companies you want these items to be synchronized, and then you just synchronize. This is all about synchronization submodules. Let's go and see what is next. The next submodule is Consolidated Reports. Using this submodule, you can print intercompany aged receivables, payables, and transactions listing reports. This is basically aggregated customer and vendor balances. So let's say you have different branches, and in these branches you have the same customers, and you want to see what is the balance for that customer in total, not in separate branches. So instead of manually adding them to see the total, you can print the report. Let's go and print. To be able to print, you need to have a dedicated company with the name of RG Comp, and here you can print the reports. Let's open one of them. So RG aged receivables, this screen you can see is very similar to its respective report in accounts receivable module. There are some differences. The first one is group by. You can see you can group by ID or by customer number. Let's group by customer number. Also, you can see we have here companies. You just select the companies you want to be included in our report. Also, you can see here we have rates. So you can define the rates here to convert the functional amounts from selected companies to the functional amount of the dedicated company, so RG Comp. And then just click print. Okay, so you can see our report has been printed and it is sorted by customer number. You can see here we have customer 1100, and you can see our RG Inc. and RG Ltd. companies represented separately, and we have company totals for them, and also we have customer total. This customer total amount is total of these two companies. So in this way, you easily understand the totals of your customers and vendors. So aged payables works in a similar way, but for vendors. Let's print customer transactions by company. So this is also very similar to the respective report in accounts receivable. You just need to select any transaction type you wish and select the companies. Here we also have the same rates button, and after you just print. Okay, so when we print, you can see we have here our document numbers, and we have our customer for which these documents are printed, and we have two different columns for RG Inc. and for RG Ltd. and respective invoices for them. Also, you can see that on this line, invoice 7867 is printed for both of those companies. This means that this is an intercompany transaction. And you can see the total amount in the last totals column. Okay, this much about consolidated report. Let's go to the next module, which is GL distributions, which performs intercompany account balance allocation. So let's say you have a parent company and you want to distribute profit or expense account to your branch and child companies. You use GL distribution. Let's go and see how that works. Okay, let's go to RG Inc. and go GL distributions. First of all, you need to define distribution sets. And when you are defining distribution sets, basically you define the account from where the balance will be distributed and define the companies to where these numbers will be distributed and respective accounts next to that companies. Also, you define the percentages, the proportion of distribution actually. And you can see here, distribute by, we have also not only manual, but other options. So let's go and see them. By number of transactions, number of employees, balance of destination account. So these are other options to decide the proportions. Okay, we just save, close. And after you have set it all up, you define the as of date you want this allocation to happen, and also distribution set. So let's process. When we process, you can see one GL distribution set was successfully processed. Let's go on to the destination company and so see what happened. You can see that the amount was sent to the 5,100 account, so the balance was moved there, which this account was specified in our GL distribution set. Similar batches are created in both source and destination companies. Also, I would like to mention that there are some reports that you can print in GL distribution. Let's say GL distribution audit log, which shows you what account were distributed and how much was distributed to each account. So let's go to our next submodule, which is inventory transfer. This module helps us to transfer stocks from one company to another without requiring purchase and sales transactions. So this is actually really easy way to transfer some inventory between your branches. Let's see how it works. Okay, to transfer inventory, we use inventory transfer, intercompany inventory transfer screen. Here you specify transfer to company, to which company you want to transfer. So we want to transfer to RG Ltd. You define the item number, which item you want to transfer, from which location you want to transfer this item and to which location in destination RG Ltd company you want to do that. Also, you define the quantity here, and that's it. Add and post. So you can see that everything was successfully transferred. When we transfer an IC, adjustments are created for both companies, destination and source companies. In the source company, let's see what happens. You can see that both decrease type adjustment was created for quantity 2. So the inventory was decreased by 2. And also in the destination company, let's go to inventory control, to transactions and adjustments. Also here you can see that both increased type of transaction was created. So the inventory level of item 105 was increased. That is all about intercompany utilities. Thank you.